Peace, peace, peace. Love, love, love. Big shout go out to all the youth them. Keep on growing. Keep on fulfilling your mind with the mistakes, with the wisdom that come with the mistakes, so that you get to a space of self that is so buoyant that the sisters and brothers around you feel ever more so confident about themselves. Ashe. Flex and repeat and you say New York City. Express and repeat and you say worldwide. You know the vibe, it's your guy. So, peace. The subject, you're gonna get away from the noise. It's midnight, and actually it's 12:30, and people out here. I'm over on the west side, downtown, looking over at Jersey, looking at these buildings, looking at the spacing of these buildings in comparison to Midtown, and the how the channel is very funnelized, and why people respond and move in the way they do. It brought something to my mind about tribal values. So the title of this is Tribal Values as a Collective, a collective view as kindred. What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? And anybody that takes an opportunity, please share this. If you get something out of this, please share this. If you have that moment of, yes, I see you, my kindred, please share this. Please comment, please like. I am not in the greater enjoyment of using Instagram. So we will then be transferring this over to my platform, which is my website. We're just integrating a space to where it's easier accessible. If you do not have access to the website, please get in contact with me. But effortlessly, go to supremegreencuisine.com. We just put up the sanctuary calendar, so we'll have people joining us for that. We have our services up there, just refining them and getting more into an understanding of what is best available for my kindred. What is best available. Not making everything available, but knowing what is necessary for the moment that we're in. That takes a lot of you being outside of yourself to gain a better understanding of your environment, to improve it. But again, as I always say, we are the masters of our own time and space. I am the master of my own time and space. I am the embodiment of infinite possibilities. It holds me to be responsible. Pardon me for this darkness, but we're in a poor lit area. But it holds me to be responsible for my actions. Although I'm the master of my own time and space, which means that I can create things that have not yet been fathomed upon. I'm the embodiment of infinite possibilities. Peace, 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 y'all. Peace, kindred. Although that these things are seem like a heavy obligation, this is effortless life. This is just as easy as your heart beating. Taking the opportunity to set a schedule for yourself. It only takes 30 to 60 days to get in your groove, to get where you feel like you need to be. You feel me? We don't really think about that because we are in such an urgency state of necessity. We feel like, damn, I gotta pay these bills. Damn, I gotta do this because this is gonna happen. When we don't know what tomorrow's gonna bring. The only thing that we can do for tomorrow is be effortlessly prepared. Be available for tomorrow. Because, peace, sister. Because that's where our opportunities will really start to then manifest. We know what we want to do, so we should schedule it. But the best schedule you need to have is the maintenance that you keep for what you're holding on to, and the maintenance that you keep available for what you're about to understand. That type of fundamental understanding, feeling, takes a certain proximity to things. Peace. It takes a certain proximity to things. It takes you being willing to collaborate with another being. Now it's rough out here, but this is a part of what we live in. Just like if we were living in the jungle, the monkeys ain't complaining, to our knowledge, about the anacondas that's eating their babies. They're just making themselves aware there's anacondas around us. And as a tribe of ape, we need to move in a certain way in order for our future to be solidified. Because our future ain't us. Our future is the things around us that we inspire. Woo! Our future is not us. Our future is the things around us to which we inspire. We set the seed we're giving life to. That's our future. That's the things that when we, quote unquote, leave this space out of this physical form, give birth back. You know how many things that are so close in your proximity that you're giving to, but they don't receive? This is why it's important to have values. This is why it's important to have a certain stature and response code for when you're stepping out. Because the physical form now has to be identified as the same. We are kindred. We feel the same way in certain moments, and there's no coincidence that when you have your moment and I have my moment, we can share on that moment afterwards in reflection on whatever it did to us and make a connection. That's because our experience in life, our go-through in life, is so that we can gain wisdom, so that we can give that wisdom. It's only about that at this space and at this time. Peace. Let me prop you guys up. It's only about that, you know? Make sure I can get you. Hopefully I get you right. Give me 1 second, y'all. Yeah. You know, it'd only be about that. Look, we got the joint in the background. It's pretty nice. Got a nice little backdrop. So getting to these values that I'm speaking about, what do I mean when I say, all right, tribal values? If you look around, I'm walking downtown, I'm looking at these buildings, I'm looking at how these buildings is built, and then I'm looking at the inhabitants of these buildings. I'm in a hotel, so I can see over and I can see into people's spaces. Not no creep shit, but just observing, right? And I can see their comfort vibrational level because of the space and how much space is thought of when they built downtown, that they keep the people close, but they don't put them too close up on each other, like Midtown, and the energy that Midtown has. Now, if we were looking at this in a tribal sense, the Wall Street people, they think at a higher pace, they feel a lot differently about their day, they maneuver their day differently, and this isn't because they're better than you. This isn't because of money or anything. We're just saying Wall Street people for now, for example. This is solely because of the proximity of their resources and how they're utilizing those resources, how they identify those resources, in fact, is what puts them in the position to have that cognitive ability. Having big spaces and wide open spaces to have your mind to be able to reflect is a real thing, because when you think, the vibration goes outward. Why do you think they say put it into the universe, put it out there? The thought is a vibration already in your mind that you then start to express, to put out here. It might not come immediately. There are certain things that we say and do, like if we yell it with such passion, the response will be immediate. But there are certain things that we have to work towards, that we have to daily prove to the space that we're around, our existence, in order for it to respond to us. Or else we're just sitting as the rock, and the rock moves, but it's not moving like the water. It's not moving like the wind. It has its own element, you know? So identifying your tribal values, identifying the tribe that you belong in, is being inside of true self. Now, tribal values can only be available for reseeding, for reaping the benefits of that reseed as a collective, if you're taking care of yourself. I'll say it black and white. You gotta be good to yourself in order to be able to be around your kindred. That makes us available for the tomorrow, the creation of the future. That is how your future manifests. Of course you could say, yep, I could do it all on my own and blah, blah, blah. It's impossible. A rainbow ain't doing it alone. A rainbow sits up there in harmony with the spectrums of other energy around it and gives us a magnificent beauty. But I'm sure if we looked at that rainbow at a microscopic scale, bitch is working. It's going to work. So how that's available is identifying self, knowing yourself, knowing what your standards are, what you are cool with accepting, and what you are just straight up like, no, that's not in my vibration, and in fact that'll throw my vibe off. So I don't want to throw my vibe off because I'm responsible for my environment, at least my 360, and whatever steps into that. So when you're frustrated, if you have a tribal value, if you know yourself and you have this grander assistance, your frustrations are at ease. You feel more instead of thinking of how to respond. Feeling is important, not the intellectualizing of feelings and then the action and notion beyond that because of egotistical standard, but the feeling, the love, the gentleness of mistake, so that you gain the wisdom. The baby doesn't fall and sit there and say, I'm a loser. It pays attention to its kindred because it's learning how to walk like them. Pay attention. Pay attention. That's where your tender comes. Paying attention. A lot of my brothers and sisters speak lately about what's going on. So if you see Brother Riza Islam, he is speaking on the war that we are in. One portion of the war. But we're in it's like X-Men. Not even X-Men. It's like the whole Marvel universe. We're in a multitude of wars at once. We have the war of self. We have the war within our own tribe, the separation proclamation. We have the war that's going on in our cities against each other. It's fucking black and white. Then the religion. Then the sexuality. It's like, what's going on? All of this separation proclamation puts us in a disposition for harmony, for growth. And if that's understood, and we are starting to gain an understanding that, the best way to shine is not to do it alone, but to collect, then we must get with our kindred. We must identify ourselves well enough so that we can be in the time and space with others to create that moment, which we're calling the future, that we put as the future. Our future, our present, our past is all one. We might go through, the only unfortunate thing is that we go through some things that we believe set markers in our life for points. Think about how heavy that would be for the ant to think about all the moments that it's been uncomfortable. It would take away from its work. And taking away from its work takes away from the collective's work. And believe it or not, believe it or not, my kindred, you are contributing to a grander harmony. Now, is the harmony in sync, elevated, or is it bouncing around with attempts to try to come together with no understanding that you're already there? Tribal values is just so you can schedule that when you see your kindred, because you run into your kindred every day. If you're doing what you need to do in true destiny, then there's no coincidence why you run into people and have these conversations about the things that are in your mind. Oh man, I was just thinking about that. It's funny that we're talking about that. Bro, I feel like, does that ever happen to you? Do you know why that happens? Because you're in the right place. You know when you're in the wrong place. People disagree with you aggressively, because disagreement brings to elevation. In society, because of so many differences to be set upon, is why we have all of this conflict. If you're seeing the difference as something that is better or worse, and not just its own element, so you can gain understanding. You don't need to know the why so deeply. If you look at it right, you'll understand it. But that comes from the harmony, the collective, even the disharmony. I'm not going to take energy away from disharmony, because you can see there's a multitude of people that are disharmonious in their multitude, and it gives off an energy, so much so that they're not aware of their ability for expansion, their ability to magnify their energy in their space. I talk about a 360 diet because I believe, I know, in fact, that there are kindreds out there that are in the same time and space, and there's pieces of the puzzle that might be missing from theirs and vice versa that'll bring us to the space. Let me let this pass. Peace. There's kindred universally that are going to pick up in the ether on that 360 diet, that menu that I put out there that tells you if we're looking for a consumption as far as an oral nutritional diet, then best to walk in an alkaline, best to use what we have, the kiwis, the raw food, the water. Did I mention the water? The intelligent water, utilizing that. It's important for these values. It's important for this diet, not so you could look great, because looking great is the byproduct. It's what you are, you know, and looking ever more so great is like the byproduct of you taking care of yourself. Lately, and I'll say this in general for all of us, we're all going through things. You know, we're all in a period of change and transformation daily. We just have to tap into seeing that, not be in the monotony of what is suggested that we should only think about. But sitting in our seat, this is why we meditate on Sundays together as a collective. But you should be meditating every day. This is a part of the standard. This is a part of the values. My tribal values: sitting yourself daily. Not the lollygag and the moping, but in those spaces, empowerment, enlightenment. Read a book, meditate. Definitely meditate every single day. You brush your teeth, right? This will get you brushing your teeth more. This will get you taking care of your hygiene even more so better. Excuse my jargon. But it'll get you in a space of like, yo, I'm available. I'm ready. The I'm ready, I'm available space, endless possibilities. The I'm trying to space, difficult to be in. It is a difficult habit to break, but can be broken with the language that we speak to self. You find yourself speaking in a haste, speak gentle to yourself. You find yourself tired, but you're around people that you feel like you need to be up, pull back. Take time for yourself. Because there's going to be points, like for me, for instance, I've been a little bit under the vibration. I've been working in the metaphysical realm heavy lately. And it's been taking energy because I'm pulling energy, and then people take energy from me, so I have to regenerate. I laid down for a second and knocked out earlier, expecting to go other places. But when my energy was needed, was within. I needed to recharge. I want to just say I have full appreciation and love for just us having the opportunity to speak, taking the opportunity to just like, oh, word. I put these out here because I know they'll reciprocate, and in fact do. How real it is that I love being in the outside, in this beautiful time and space, beyond this digital realm, which just records it. That so much so the people that watch and listen and contribute to their life see me in public and express to me on the impact. And I love that. So peace to my kindred. I love you and I appreciate y'all for that. The work is never done. But you'll only become tired if you feel like it's this heavy responsibility that you have to do it. It's a part of your life. The animal must hunt or forage. And we are the supreme, so we can create, we can seed a space, develop that for growth and fruit. But we gotta have a schedule as a family, a real family, The place that we grew up in tried to destroy the ideals of what that truly means, of what love means, of what family means, of what kindred can be, of what harmony actually is. And there's no need for that. No need for misunderstanding and confusion, only to bring you to elevation. If only to bring you to elevation. I speak from a place of understanding and wisdom because I've been on the opposite end. Not more so cocky, but we've created these spaces where we've had to defend either loudly or silently that now we respond to our environment differently. It's time to break those habits. It's time to know that you are loved. It's time to know that you are appreciated. That the light that shines from within is a beautiful light, and I want you to share that light. I want you to be a part of the greater harmony to which is you. We're all around you, waiting just for you to have the thought so we can collect. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for being available. I apologize to anybody that I have not been available for. My energy had to be recharged. I love you. Take care of yourselves. I appreciate you. To my nephew, to my son, to my sister, to my mother, to all of my kindred out there, ashe, 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 ashe. Live in peace and harmony within yourself, and always be the dope you want to smoke. Steam on life. Chef Saint, I appreciate you. Flex!